Today is Thursday, January 28th, and the title of this rant will be Hillary Clinton, a lifelong progressive. Now, we've seen a lot of stuff, and it's really funny because it's coming from the Bernie side about how Hillary, isn't strong enough to lead us. It has to be Bernie, and this is really coming from Bernie's fans. I just wanted to bring up a couple quick things about that. Hillary grew up in an all-white neighborhood somewhere in Illinois. Her father was a Republican, a moderate operator in the local area. She was a Goldwater Republican in 1964, and in 1965 she went off to Yale. And between 1965 and 1969, which I would consider extremely tumultuous times here in the United States, she changed her tune completely. She went over and became a progressive. She became a Democrat. And she has never looked back. And she has worked very hard for progressive ideals ever since then. And let's just take a quick look. When she married Bill and she moved to Arkansas in 1975, Democrats weren't necessarily in the majority over there. And, as a governor, you have to do what you can do with the legislature. Bill was a big deal maker. She understood all of that you have to make deals. And he was making deals with Republicans. And so she knows all about that. And we really didn't get to see a whole heck of a lot of her until starting in 1992, let's just say, in that election. So we've had a good quarter century of exposure to Hillary. And ever since, remember, the Republicans had the presidency for 12 years before Bill came in. And they were going to pillarize Hillary and Bill on an unprecedented level to make him a one-term president. And they did that all over the place. So a lot of this stuff that we heard about Hillary and Bill back then were made up. They were what I would like to call the right-wing outrage of the day. So they came up with a new outrage every day. So we know a lot about Hillary in the sense that we know that the Republicans have trashed her right from the beginning because they did see her as, number one, a strong woman. Okay, and of course, they can't have that. And what I'm seeing now that's a little bit disturbing is I'm actually seeing some of my friends who are staunch Bernie supporters using some of the same Republican talking points against Hillary to justify their them wanting to be for Bernie, them being for Bernie and headstrong for Bernie. And of course, a lot of the perception of what a lot of people have about Hillary has been shaped by the right-wing outrage machine and what they've been doing for the last quarter centuries. And it's almost as if what we're hearing from the Bernie people, especially the backers, and I've had a little bit of kickback on this, is that I don't know how good he is, that he's so great, and that he's going to take over. It's going to be a revolution and everything is going to happen. And of course, I'm a little bit older. I've been around this a few times. I can remember who Paul Tsongas was. 92? I can remember who Bill Bradley was. I can remember, God, who were some of the other people? Well, Ted Kennedy. He went against Carter back in 1980. And I can't remember who Carter was running with, who Carter had to go against back in 76. But let's just say, but what we're going to have here is we're going to have a president who hopefully will have the Senate, because there's a good chance that the Senate can switch from Republican to Democrat. But at the same time, if you don't have 60, then they can filibuster anything anyway. But it doesn't make any difference because the chances are that you're not going to get the House. And if you're not going to get the House, then you're not going to get too much legislation passed, except for some things. So whoever becomes the president is going to have a very difficult time pushing things through, which makes it all the more important that president get ready for 2018 right after that. And what I do know is that Hillary will work very, very hard to get through every single thing that she can get through. And by that, I'm saying that she's been defined by a lot of people. We know a lot of people already hate her. It's sad to see that I'm seeing that on the Democratic side a little bit. But you know, to play in this game, you have to have some thick skin. As an example, we see that our good friend on the other side, Donald Trump, does not have very thick skin. You know, he's backing out of a debate because a woman asked him too many tough questions. But Hillary has thick skin. She will move tirelessly forward, and we have to acknowledge that. And I would like our friends who are Bernie supporters to acknowledge that also, that people who work for Hillary, that people who support Hillary are basically for the same types of things that Bernie is for. Maybe not to quite the same degree, but guess what? You know, if Bernie's advocating for 100% radical change and Hillary's advocating for 75%, let's just hope that we can get 25% out of that first 2 years. And that we're all in this together, and that whoever the nominee is, that we need to go hog wild behind that nominee.